Okay, so the first video did not record. That is awesome, as I'm trying to get this preview pick, kind of video out before the first game tonight with the Lions and the Blue Bombers. So we're probably going to try to have to do this one faster because time is running out for me. So if you're new, please make sure to subscribe if you're new. If not, no big deal. And I'll tell you why I didn't get this out a day before the game started at the end of the video if you're interested. Anyway, let's get on into it. So, the first game is between the BC Lions and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. BC is traveling to Winnipeg to play the team that has been in the past 3 straight Grey Cups. This is a great measuring stick game for the Lions. Their defense has looked very impressive to start out the year through the first games, 2 games. And the Blue Bombers, of course, their offense has been clicking really well. They've scored 40 plus in their past 2 games. And I know Janarian Grant had that really big return last week, which was really cool to watch there. But yeah, this one's going to be a very interesting game. Of course, the Blue Bombers ended the Lions season last year, 1 game away from a Grey Cup appearance that I really feel like as a Lions fan, we could have won that Grey Cup against Toronto. But I digress. We're going to put that behind us. For this game, I think it really does come down to how well the BC Lions defense does against the Blue Bombers offense. BC's offense, I think, is good, and it's better than I expected it to be, but Winnipeg's defense is probably going to be really motivated, in this first part of the game, especially after they had not a terrible game, but not a game that you would really love to say, oh, we allowed 27 points against Rough Riders last week, so I would expect them to be fired up, be motivated, and for the Lions, it really is probably going to be where they need to get some stops early, and then maybe get some takeaways, create key moments in the game, hold the Blue Bombers to field goals, all that good stuff. For this game, who am I picking? Of course, I'm a Lions fan, but that does not mean that I'm going to be picking BC in this one. I'm going to be picking Winnipeg, as I do think their offense is good enough to get this job done. For me, as a BC fan, I think it really comes down to, can we keep this game close? Can we go toe-to-toe with the contender right here to say, okay, well, when it comes to playoff time, maybe we could be there in the moment to win this one, but I do think Winnipeg is the better side as of right now. The second game of the week will be the Montreal Alouettes traveling to Hamilton to play the Tiger Cats. This one's big because Montreal started off the year 1-0, had a bye, and now they're going into this game against the 0-2 Hamilton Tiger Cats, who, yikes, it is not looking good for them to start off the year. Of course, now you have Bo Levi Mitchell out with an injury, so Matthew Schultz, the Schultz Show, will be out there for this game for them. This one's a really tough one here. I ended up making a tough decision, but I do think that for this game, I'm going to be picking Hamilton to win it. I know that sounds a little weird, especially because Montreal is coming off the bye, but I think the Tiger Cats should be pretty motivated, and I do think as well that Montreal's offense didn't do a whole lot against Ottawa in week 1. They had a few big plays with Fajardo. So for them, if they don't get those big plays, I do worry that this offense might sputter in this one. And for the Tiger Cats, I really think that this defense is going to have to step up and get some turnovers early if they can eliminate the Alouettes from running the ball. Right now, I'm not exactly sure that Montreal is going to be that team that can go off for 30 plus points in a game or something like that. So I'm not too worried about that there for Hamilton, but at the same time, you do wonder if Schultz is going to be able to get this offense going and to limit turnovers. We'll see in this one. And then Lawrence Woods, I think, should be back for the Tiger Cats in this game. If not, that does hurt them, but I am going to be picking the Tabbies to avoid an 0-3 start here. The third game of the week will be the Saskatchewan Roughriders traveling to Calgary at McMahon Stadium to play the Calgary Stampeders. I'm going to go out right now and tell you who I will pick for this game and why. I'm going to be picking Calgary, and I know that seems a little odd, especially because in my opinion, Calgary has been so underwhelming after I hyped them up in my season preview. Jake Maier has not really impressed me at all through these first 2 weeks. I know people are going to say, oh, he had 300 yards last week, blah, blah, blah. A lot of those yards, I think, were tied to a throw to Malik Henry, and there are some other plays. He did look better in the second half, I think, in terms of deep shots, but I don't think he's impressed me. But still, you're looking at the Rough Riders, and you're not exactly sure what they are right now. They haven't been able to run the ball the way they probably would have liked to start the first 2 weeks of the season for them. And if they're going to rely on Trevor Harris while he's still battling, whatever he's dealing with here, that could be a problem. Now, he torched Winnipeg at points in last week's game. But are you going to be able to replicate that? All those things, as Calgary was probably able to see some of the things that Winnipeg or Saskatchewan like to do in that one. That's going to be interesting there. The defense for Calgary should be able to get the job done. Alway has been great in the middle for them, and they just got a lot of good guys on that side. They won't have Kadeem Carey for this game. So that could help Saskatchewan here. This one's close, and I think that if the Rough Riders win this one, I'm definitely going to say Saskatchewan's a lot better than I thought they would be to start the year. And if Calgary loses this one, oh boy, I really do think it's not time to panic just yet, but it is time to probably admit that the Stampeders are not nearly as good as I expected them to be. And then the final game of the week, you have the Toronto Argonauts heading over to Alberta to play the Edmonton Elks. This is a big game because the Argos, of course, coming off of a Week 2 win, their first game of the season against the Tabbies, looked pretty good. Chad Kelly looked pretty good, and Coxie had a lot of good receptions here in this one. The defense was able to get stops in the red zone when they needed to. They were able to run the ball effectively, all that good stuff. This is going to be a big game for the Elks, obviously, too, because they're 7-25 their past 2 seasons. It's just not been good football for Edmonton fans, and now they are 7-27, and you include their first 2 losses of this season. Are they going to lose at home this week? I don't think it's approaching 1,500 days just yet, but we are inching closer to another big milestone for this home losing streak. You have a lot of people talking about Taylor Cornelius and how he probably shouldn't start for them, and that Trey Ford should be the guy. I'm saying at this point, if Cornelius struggles, especially in the first quarter and the first half, throw Ford out there. I'm a big fan of Ford, and Cornelius looks a lot better last year compared to his first year, but this year, of course, they've only scored 13 points in the first 2 games. You can't rely on Geno Lewis to get 102-yard receptions all the time, so we will see there. The defense, I don't think, is a problem there for the Elks. I think the offense has just not been very effective, but for this game, I'm going to be picking the Argos just because, again, their defenses look pretty good. They've got a lot of talent on the defensive end, and the offense proved that they were plenty capable of putting up points in last week's game against Hamilton. But what are your picks for this week? Let me know down below in the comments. I'd love to know. And then if you want to know why I put this video out so late, you can stick around for this final part. So this week has not been my week. I just had to put new tires on my car. It was like $700 US. And so that one wasn't too bad. We knew that was coming or whatever. That was like a little bit over a week ago, maybe like 8 days ago. No big deal. And then for her sister's 18th birthday, we ended up taking her to an amusement park by us and just going there, having a great time with her family. Nothing was wrong there. Had a great time with them. But on the way back home, about 15 minutes before we got back, the engine started to misfire. Got it parked in the car. Knew I was gonna got it parked in the driveway. Knew I was gonna have to take it into work the next day and then take it to the dealership afterwards to just get it worked on. So we did that. So I'm at work thinking about how I've got to worry about another car thing right after I just did that. And so that's going, and I'm just having a really bad day at work. Nobody's mean or anything like that. It was just one of those days that everything that could set you back and slow you down at work was happening that day for me. Feeling frustrated there. I get back from lunch, and my boss, great boss by the way, hands me a piece of paper with my name on it, like an envelope. And I already know that it's probably not great news, because if you get an envelope, it's either health insurance stuff or it's just something from the company that's probably specifically made just for you. It had my name on it, so it definitely was. And it was basically just a letter saying that I didn't get the promotion that I was really hoping for. I was really thinking I had a good chance to get it. I wasn't going to say that I was a lock for it, because you never want to have that kind of attitude, but I found out I wasn't getting that. Then just more stuff kept slowing me down from work. I had to go and get that car put into the dealership. Knew that was going to be expensive. It was, and then they weren't able to get a hold of me till the end of the day, even though I brought it in earlier in the day to tell me, hey, we figured out what was wrong with it finally. We're going to keep it in the shop tonight if you want and get it fixed tomorrow. So I said that's fine. Not a big deal that they'd, keep it there overnight. But I was like, dang, now I got to have my wife drive me to work super early in the morning, which I did today. Found out how much it was going to be for the other part of it, which was also nice and pricey. But here we are. It is towards the end of the week. I just was sick today. I did use a half day. Have been, vomiting profusely, but I'm feeling better now after like a 6-hour nap. Anyway, I'm ready for the weekend. I'm ready for CFL football. Again, please make sure to feel free to leave your picks down below for the week and all that good stuff. Everybody stay safe and have a great night.